1,500. You ready? You good?
I'm good. Oh, sure.
Call order. You're up. Thank you.
Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Dunstan?
Here.
Commissioner Heedy?
Here.
Commissioner Padilla is absent. Vice Chair Mercado?
Here.
Chair Reif?
Present. We don't have anywhere on the agenda. I don't see any presentations. I will make a motion to approve the minutes of August the 4th. Can I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just so I'm clear, everything is related to the... Okay. So there are no public comments. I have no consent calendar, no continued public hearings, no new public hearings. And on to the conceptual review. Mark, are you the Stuckey? Oh, how dare, what's your new name? I'm sorry.
Andrea Kiefer.
Kiefer, okay, sorry. Olson's easy to remember. Kiefer's a little harder. Okay, so
Even for me.
that doesn't mean just. Wait a second.
You're supposed to go.
No, this
Makes sense for
is
you.
no, this is
Him, on the other
good.
hand,
You've been dating like 50. You've been on like 15 years.
12 years.
Okay, still hard for you?
Well, with my
Maybe,
name.
maybe you should get the presentation. All right, Andrea, over to you. Sorry for the drama.
Okay, well, good evening, Chair Reif and Commissioner. Andrea Kiefer, Assistant Planner. This item is for the proposed ARCO AM/PM gas station that's proposed at 653 Avenue of Flags, at the northwest corner of Avenue of Flags. So as you see here on the vicinity map here, you have Hanada Park Road to the north, Avenue of Flags to the east, and Central Avenue to the west. So I would like to note that this is a conceptual review. The project has not been officially submitted, and the applicant is seeking initial input from the commission on their proposed project plans before they officially submit the project plans. Staff has not reviewed the plans for compliance with the municipal code. However, this type of project would require a conditional use permit. So this is the site plan here. The proposal includes a 2-story building, which would be located here. The ground floor, the first floor would be a convenience store and a quick service restaurant, and the top floor would be offices. And the proposal also includes a new canopy with 6 gas pumps, and the existing building and the existing canopy would be demolished and replaced with the building and the new canopy. And also new landscaping and parking and site work would also be included in the project. And access is proposed through 2 driveways on Central Avenue and through an existing and a proposed driveway on the Avenue of Flags. At this time, the applicant is just seeking initial Planning Commission comments, direction on the project plans, and whether or not this type of project has the Planning Commission's conceptual report. The Planning Commission should consider the project in light of the Avenue of Flags specific plan. This property is located in the Gateway North District, which is the Travelers District, as part of the Avenue of Flags specific plan. So in light of that, a gas station may be an appropriate use for this site. But also, the Planning Commission should also take into consideration the potential impacts to the adjacent residential neighborhood with the access driveways on Central Avenue. Also, if the project moves forward ahead of the Avenue of Flags specific plan, they would not be able to take advantage of the DOR incentives as part of the Avenue of Flags specific plan. And with that, staff would just recommend that Planning Commission review the conceptual plans and provide the applicant with feedback and direction.
I have a question. Could you go back one slide? I know you're probably going to, if you're even talking to Caltrans yet, how would this impact any future, or is it too early to say, any roundabout in that area? Is it just too early to say?
It's too early to say, and I don't think it would affect, because any roundabout wouldn't affect this particular property.
Okay.
We'd
There'd be nothing that they would need from it?
No.
Okay.
I have a number of questions. Art, you got any?
No, I'm good right now.
No, nothing right now. Later, yes.
Okay, first off, what does QSR stand for?
My interpretation was
Quick service restaurant. Okay, got it. So is that indicative that the sign will, all right, well, I guess I can ask the applicant that. Does that mean normally like, Taco Bell will be replaced where the QSR is? Is that?
Potentially.
Okay.
That's the question for that.
All right. Okay, so what, let me see if I can properly ask this question. Why is this site not particularly available for DOR? And I'm not wondering about whether this site should or shouldn't. I'm more curious as to staff's conclusion as to this topic.
Well, if the project was approved prior to the adoption of the specific plan, they would be going with the current municipal code requirement.
Is it possible that if they decide to make a contribution to one of the many things listed in the DOR, that we could write something in the conditions or something like that?
We could work with the city attorney on that if they voluntarily wanted to do something.
Understood.
But
we
couldn't change the municipal code requirements for height, et cetera, without the plan in place for the specific plan. And they're not proposing, I don't believe, to go higher than what the code requires at this point.
Okay. And I have a number of questions on the sign. So I want to...
And I don't know if the sign,
Yeah, I understand, but I want to make sure I understand, because I don't think in the... Does the form-based code in the specific plan affect the signage and the relative sign ordinance?
Yes, if the specific plan was adopted. Yes.
I get it. So what I'm trying to get at, though, is I want to make sure we're clear to the applicant that if, for instance, I don't want to get into a big pole sign debate, a 40-foot pole sign debate again, if on the Avenue of Flags we plan to adopt monument signs, right? And so then they start a big debate on...
The code doesn't prohibit the pole signs, does it?
I'm talking hypothetical,
That's
Mark.
on the Avenue of Flags.
And the current code prohibits pole signs, which are the 30-foot signs they're proposing at this point, so.
Okay, so it would have to be a monument sign? And
That's...
even without the Avenue of Flags?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, and are there...
And again, we haven't gone through any of these iterations or looked at the code, because this is just a concept review, so we haven't...
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any additional... That's a good one. Are there any additional sign restrictions? Because I know we did spend some time on this Night of Flags, and this is going back years now, so I don't remember, compared to what's in the form-based code. So is that the only one? Is there, I don't know, what I'm trying to get is the overall square foot allotted to signage more or less restrictive with the Avenue of Flags than the status quo?
We don't know that at this time.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. So I guess I'll bring that up with the applicant. I'm trying to think if I had any other. Okay, and so what about no issues with putting in a fast food establishment in the place? There's no additional code or zoning, all that?
It's allowed with the current code.
Okay, and my last question, I know we talked about this over the phone today. The city council has not looked at or reviewed or had any chance to make commentary about this zone being authorized for what is it called?
For service station in the Travelers District. It's something we're looking at in the specific plan to include, because we did get feedback from many people regarding that.
Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to get at, though, is city council going to be able to review that and then give some downward guidance prior to this formal application coming?
It
Because I think that would
probably
influence-
will be going concurrently. However, if they come under current code, you follow current code, not what you're proposing as part of this. So it's what you got to weigh in and take into account.
Well, I get it, but if the city council is the ultimate authority of the specific plan, then it would, do you see what I'm getting at?
Right,
It's
but
like
if
the
they want
chicken or the egg.
to come in before the specific plan, then they're entitled to be processed, and you're the body who would make the decision on that.
Thanks. Okay. Copy. Okay, no more questions. Any more questions for staff? No. Okay. Does the applicant want to say anything? You're not required to. No? It's a yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I say yes. Is it on? No, actually, we don't need it, right? Alex Cuevas, I represent the engineering firm also for this project. Just one comment about the driveway that you said that there might be a concern on the avenue if you go back to on Central. The driveways that we're using, those two are existing, and we're not proposing any new driveways on that street.
Yeah, so I think what Dan was worried about, are you familiar with, so first off, are you familiar with the overall plan that we plan to?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we've been in
So
meetings.
you're familiar with the roundabout we want to, okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, Dan, is that what you were?
Oh, I was just worrying about the whole property. How that would be.
What he's concerned about is staff. The one driveway that accesses the facility is going to force people out onto the street from the gas pump. So staff is going to be looking closely at whether that should remain open. Right now, it's closed off. That would be a significant thing we'll look at as part of the traffic study. So that's the concern that we had, and I think that's what you brought up.
I know we're here just to receive comments from you, the feedback, so how you feel about the project. Do you have any comments about the architecture that we created on the elevations?
I'm just wondering, do you have any sort of a color board or anything?
Yes, we do. We have the colors. They don't really represent those particular elevations. We've just been going back and forth so many times.
My name is Adeep. I'm the applicant. We looked at the specific plan, and I think that what we're going to go with was an agrarian theme. So we we kind of read the whole thing and trying to figure out what exactly it'll be. So it'll be mostly like a reddish barn color that you guys have over there by the tractor supply. So it'll be siding something that we have to get an approval from ARCO, but pretty much will be similar. That's why we made the elevation accordingly. What as much as sidings and as much as angles instead of just doing another straight square building. So we kind of put that components into perspective, whatever we can do with the specific plan.
Just to let you know, this will be very unique as far as ARCO is concerned. This will never pass ARCO approval, but they did just because it's located here and all the architecture that is in the area.
And the architecture should be following the community design guidelines, not the specific plan, which has agrarian, but that's what you have to follow, not the specific plan at this
And then we
point.
have incorporated all that.
And can we see the colors?
Yeah.
Or just
It was just an initial design, so.
okay, just gives us an idea.
Yeah, so it'll be like more like a. I would say it's just these will be a little bit.
Can you? We need microphone. If you take it over there, we record it.
Now these will be the maroons, the barn colors. These is the long sidings, and then we'll have something on the bottom. So that's what the idea is to just. We have not kind of finalized, but that's where we are going with. Mostly because ARCO colors are like an orangish thing. So, but we kind of approved them here. We want something more like a agrarian look. So that's why we.
Just so I'm clear, these don't match this.
Right. That's what I was saying before. We don't have a specific color for that particular elevation, but those are kind of like the colors that we're going to be using.
Okay. So just use it for color. Yeah.
Okay.
I personally think for a gas station it looks nice. I just, I don't know. I'd like to hear, I'd like to hear what everyone says about having a gas station in this spot. I think is the core. But for a gas station, it looks nice. May I ask what? Just so I'm clear, then the QSR is going to be replaced with a fast food restaurant?
No, the QSR is more like, it can be anything. We are a franchisee of Dickie's Barbecue, and maybe we'll start our own pizza concept. We have not decided it to go with a franchise model or do something on our own.
Okay, so there will be a franchise. So it won't say.
It can be a franchise. It can be, so we'll see what we are a franchisee of Subway, but I see there's only too many. So we'll either go with we have our own pizza concept with a little brewery, just like a small thing, or we will do something like a Dickie's Barbecue or something. We have not decided what we'll go with.
No, I understand. So essentially, what I'm trying to get is that sign will be replaced with whatever label of the franchise.
Yeah, whatever the franchise is.
Okay. Dan, did you have a question? I cut you off, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I just wanted to get a sort of an idea.
Yeah, and we do, this is not the first thing we are trying to do. We are a franchisee of Arco. We have done stations in the Central Valley. Among our the partners, we own about 15 gas stations. So it's just, I don't know if you have seen any gas station with the pine ceilings. That's what we do. There's some pictures over there in the gas station, the package right there. So that's what we have. Our standards are high. We worked with there was a thing with the city of Delano. They wanted, hey, there was a first exit, so that's what we did. So we put stone outside. We do a good job. It's not like that. It's not another mom and pop shop that it'll be a nice standards that we'll be doing.
Okay, and you guys are obviously going with the monument sign. You heard that conversation?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have more questions for the applicant?
Right now.
Sorry.
I had a question on the 35 feet sign. I know it can't be in the specific plan, but can it be towards some, like at the Quality inside or something over there? If you can come up with some idea with the hotel over there, or like something that's more visible from the freeway.
I'm sorry. Are you asking if we can put a pole sign up? No.
Yeah, no, on the freeway side. I'm not saying on the.
Yeah. So
maybe not on the Avenue of Flags. Maybe on the other side.
You mean just on the right adjacent to the Avenue
Well,
flag?
Maybe on the back side, most towards the freeway.
Caltrans doesn't approve those off-site signs. That's within their corridor of billboards and those types of
Okay.
sign, and it's off-site. So
Yeah, and I don't want to speak for the commission, but I'm not game to put a pole sign anywhere near the Avenue of Flags. We're trying to make the Avenue of Flags destination. Putting a 35-foot pole sign seems anti-destination to me.
No, that's fine.
But that's just my opinion.
No,
I get outvoted all the time, so. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Hey, thank you guys very much.
Here. Would you like your, okay.
All right, let's do the speakers, and we can provide commentary at the end. Okay, Sherry Arellano. Did I get that right?
Pretty close. It's
Okay, so we normally do a 3-minute thing, so I'm not really in the mood to push a whole bunch of buttons, so just
I will try to keep it short. I was told
It's more for everybody than
I
for
was
you.
told
Yeah,
I
no
had
worries.
3 minutes.
No
So
big deal.
I am Sherry Arlano, and I am the owner, along with Steve Arlano, of the property at 653 Avenue of the Flags. I respectfully come here to speak with you tonight. I respect the process, and I understand what everybody here is trying to accomplish. My purpose is mostly to just show my face, because I want you to know this is more than just an address. And I want you to know this is more than buyers and sellers and somebody's vision for the Avenue of the Flags. Steve and I have been pretty used to hearing the word no from the planning department of the city of Buellton. And I just want to, I have a lot of history here, but I'd just like to tell you the biggest mistake I've made in my life was to mortgage my house in 2003 to pay off the Buell Trust, because we purchased it in 1999 from the Buell Trust. We were who I think were the original owners of the property. And we had a vision for the property to have a family-owned business. We were excited about our location and what we would accomplish there. But life doesn't always dish us out our plan. In 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012, the city rejected absolutely every business, every tenant, prospective tenant, and every prospective buyer that came in. Without due process, we were told after the fact, we went into the city, but they said no. We went into the city, but they said no. So in 2011, when Steve lost his job, I put my house on the market, my beautiful home that I had built and raised my children in, which was almost paid for in 2003, and I sold my home and walked away with $7,000 in my pocket. Every year that property has sat vacant has cost me between $20,000 and $30,000 in interest, loan, and taxes and insurance. And nonetheless, some bad business decisions. I mortgaged my house and I lost my house. So that's my personal story. I asked myself, how many who have this vision for the Avenue of the Flags would be willing to sacrifice their house for it, or their livelihood, or their retirement? And basically, that's what I've been asked to do. As you know, I have a tenant in there now, and he knows that there's a sale pending, and he's getting ready to move out, which will leave that piece of property empty again. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to pay the taxes. So next year, let alone any improvements or upkeep. I'm excited about this. I think this is an amazing win-win. It's a win for me. I can sell this property and move on with my life, as well as Steve. We're now divorced, and he lives up north. It's a beautiful plan, and the thing that is very frustrating about this to me is that all of the prospective buyers and tenants that I had shown interest over the years have a legal right to be there. And I don't know that much about city politics and the rules and whatever, but it's been extremely frustrating for me. And I would just hope that as you are giving this your most careful consideration, that you will consider there's a face that goes behind that address, and there are lives that go with that. And that maybe once I'll get a yes, that would really be a great. And if you have any questions, I'm more than willing to answer that. I know for sure a tire shop, a service and repair shop, trailer sales, RV sales and repair, and I'm not even saying this is pre your being involved here, but that's been my experience. So.
Right. I've been on since '08, so I don't remember a lot.
Well,
I remember the trailer.
They never got to the planning commission. They were just said
The
no.
horse trailers were on there for 3 years.
The horse trailers were on there, but they were given a limited, temporary, and they didn't want to jump through the hoops. It was easier for them just to move up the street.
Okay, that's fair. I don't remember the others, but I remember approving the horse trailer one.
Yeah, you gave it a temporary use,
okay.
A very short temporary use, and so
Right.
again it was empty. So.
Okay, any questions? On behalf of the city, I apologize for the troubles. You know, this job's a give and take. It's a lose-lose for us. So on top of that, though, we will give it all due diligence. I promise.
And that's all I'm asking.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everyone's fair. Trust me, I'm the king of fair.
Yeah. And I think it's a win-win, and that's just from my standpoint.
Okay. Thank you for your time, ma'am. Okay. Thought we were all gonna start crying there. All right. Mark Mendenhall.
Mark Mendenhall, 24 Zacca Street. I'm just a lifelong resident of Buellton. Kind of want to give you a little bit of history of past and present. And my father had a service station on the Avenue of Flags for 25 years. I also had a service station on the Avenue of Flags for 25 years. So we've had 50 years worth of participation on the Avenue. And I don't care what anybody says, Buellton is a service town. Basically, we're restaurants, motels, service stations, and we're going to be a service town. I mean, we have a vision for the downtown on the Avenue, and hopefully that comes to fruition sometime. But, we've been visioning ever since we became a city in '92, and, we haven't had any progress yet. But, I mean, we're working with a specific plan, and maybe that'll come through. So I just want to say that the north end of the Avenue of Flags is basically automotive orientated. You got Oliveras up there, you got the car lot, you got the 76 station, and their proposed site was a service station as long as I can remember. And I think it's the ideal situation for the city as far as the business. I can't think of a better business that that site would be for. Architecturally, it looks okay, but I mean, that's something that you're going to have to go through. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think the site is a really good site for a service station. Signage is another thing you're going to have to deal with. Signage is really important for all kinds of businesses. And, I mean, even if you had to compromise and give them a little bit of height on maybe not a pole sign, but a monument sign or whatever, signage is really important for this type of business. And I just think it's an appropriate site for this type of business, and not only that, economically for the city, because service stations generate a lot of tax money. And like I said, it's on the north end where it's all automotive orientated, and when you come off the freeway, if you're looking at the specific plan as they've got it today, they got truck parking, and it's like easy off the freeway and easy back on. And then if we get them off the freeway, maybe they can come to the downtown, and maybe they can, come to our restaurants and motels and stuff. So basically, I just think that that's an ideal site for this project. Any questions?
Thanks for your time, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and just, we're trying to keep the signage, so they have a really nice monument sign they put of other facilities. I don't know if you see that in the packet. I don't know if you
Well,
guys saw it.
like I said, I know from being in business that signage is really important, and I know what we're trying to do with the avenue, and I know we're trying to keep everything kind of cutesy and stuff, but maybe could be some kind of little compromise, because you want to be able to see it a little bit from the highway, although you do have the sign up the freeway that you can put your ARCO AM PM on, and like the 76 and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Judith.
Planning Commissioners, basically, I'm going to have the same attitude and concerns that Mark had. The main thing we need to do with the avenue, especially in the north end, is to get people off 101 to stop and come to the avenue. And I don't know about you when you travel with your family, but when I travel with my family, basically we stop for gas and get a bite to eat, and maybe let Spot and Fluffy go pee, the dogs, and it's perfect because the median number one is grass, and I would assume we'd put some picnic tables there and be traveler friendly. So, and I would hope this is more than just a gas station. Hopefully it's they have the restaurant, and it could be a welcome to Buellton kind of thing. We should have, hopefully they would have brochures or little rack of things to do in Buellton, things to see in Buellton. It's kind of a welcome to Buellton from the north. When you get off 101 from the south, there's service stations everywhere, but you don't see that coming from the north, and I think we need to think about getting the traveler off 101 and coming into Buellton from the north. And this project could do that for us. The sign, I think, is important. I certainly do not want a pole sign either, but I think it would defeat the purpose if people didn't know there's a service station coming off the avenue. So, work on that. A nice monument sign that's visible, I think, would be great. The architecture, I think, is the most important issue. If this is going to be a gateway coming into Buellton, it needs to be classy. It needs to be neat. I'm sure you guys will do a great job, as well as the firm we hire for architectural review, but the architecture truly concerns me that it needs to be first class. The central exit, the two exits onto Central Avenue concern me. Maybe, as Mark said, the traffic folks can look at that. I'm not sure, that intersection is just crazy as it is. And coming out of a service station onto Central, right there where all those roads come together.
I'm sure there'll be a traffic study. I think
Yeah,
we're all equally,
okay.
I lived right there. We're all equally concerned.
Yeah, so take a good look at that. I can't think of a better use for this site. As they said, it's kind of had an interesting history. But in summary, pull the people off 101. I think the best way to do that is a visitor center, service station, restaurant kind of complex. Make it classy, make it good. Encourage them to go on down to the avenue and make it more than a service station. But I'm totally in favor of some rendition of this project, because I think it's very good use for the land. I can't think of a better use, and with median number one right across the street for the traveler, it fits. fits. It's perfect. Thanks.
So you think it looks, I mean, for a gas station, I think this looks pretty good.
Yeah, I was pleased
Okay.
when I saw that. I mean,
All right,
you know, I didn't want to see that.
I want to make sure I'm misconstrued, because you made it sound like you didn't like this, and I was like, I
Well-
think this looks for a gas station pretty good.
To be honest with you, I'm not real fond of the whole agrarian style, but that's what we have. That's what Crossroads is. So I'm not going to, you know, if it fits with the rest of the community and what we decide to do on the avenue, I think this does need to fit into the avenue. Let's face it, this is part of the avenue. So, you know, whether they come parallel together with the specific plan or one before the other, I think, you know, it's kind of chicken and egg, but I think the two need to blend, and this does need to fit in with what we're doing.
It looks a lot better than, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, when I first heard service station, I, you know, was kind of probably like you were, pole sign and just, you know, a canopy and a little hut.
Yeah.
Well, this is much more than that, and that's why I say it needs to be more than just a gas station.
Yeah.
It needs to be a welcome to Buellton facility. Great. Thanks for all you do.
Hey, so before the next speaker, I guess, Mark, so for the canopy part, can we add any agrarian features to that? 'Cause that does not.
I would imagine if you give that as a direction, they can work on it.
Is that problematic? Okay. Yeah. We're trying to make everything look like Buellton. So even when they came for the Commons project, for that huge multi-million-dollar thing that looked pretty amazing, I still gave them a spiel too, so.
If you can give us a pole sign, we'll put welcome.
I'll show you a pole sign, okay? All right, I tried to cover the mic for that, Mark. I'm not sure that worked. Ron. Nancy, you're last.
Hello. Ron Anderson. I just want to bring up the fact that I'm on the city's economic task force, and having building up sales tax is exactly what we want. It's exactly what we need. We need income for the city to develop the rest of the avenue, and I think this is a Taj Mahal of gas stations that I've ever seen. I'll be honest with you.
Have you been to the Taj Mahal?
No. I've been in City Hall.
Oh, that's a bad comparison. Yeah.
Anyway, I really appreciate it if you would move it forward. It'd be good.
Thanks.
Speechless. You're speechless.
On the Clemps. Okay. Thank you, Ron. Mine, Sans the Vest. Nancy. All right, Nancy, try to stick to the 3 minutes if you don't mind, madam.
I'll do my best.
Oh, you got handouts.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here early because I know that outdoor lighting will not be specifically considered until down the road. But it's the issue about which I'm very concerned, and it's an issue where I like to get in there and talk early so that the developer has the opportunity to think in terms of dark sky-friendly, neighbor-friendly outdoor lighting. The specifier bulletin was prepared in 2008. It happens to talk about one manufacturer because that manufacturer in 2008 brought out something that was new and different in terms of service station canopy lighting. The brochure, I hope you'll take time to read it because it gives some really good information about service station lighting in general. And one of the figures that really interested me is that 40% of the operational costs of a facility are lighting. And that's because the lights have to be on so long. So we're in a situation in Buellton where we have a lot of service stations, and none of those service stations have outdoor lighting that protects the night sky. In 2008, when we got this publication, we wrote all of the owners asking them to consider changing out their light fixtures. One can save the cost of the light fixtures in 2 or 3 years, and from then you're making tremendous savings in the amount of electricity that you're using. And that's partly because they're LEDs. But for us, the important thing is that the lights be in the canopy, not under the canopy, and that if at all possible, 3,000 Kelvin, which is warm light or soft light, be used in an effort to protect wildlife and also humans, because the American Medical Association just recently voted their concern for LEDs and human life and health. Because the blue-white light is being shown increasingly to have negative health effects for humans, not just wildlife. I know that Cree is a manufacturer that is making 3,000 Kelvin lights. But I'm not sure that LSI is. I tried to research that, and I didn't find anything that indicated they yet were. But I believe there are some other manufacturers who could provide the kind of lighting needed for this project to be a model for all of your service stations here and elsewhere. So I encourage you to require a careful look at the lighting and that it meet those criteria of being in the canopy and, if at all possible, being 3,000 K or soft white, warm white.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Nancy. This is good stuff. And by the way, I think we've fulfilled almost every one of your requests after you met with us, for the record. But I think in the conditions, we always have a dark sky.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know that? Okay.
The canopy, all the lighting that we have on the canopy is all recessed. Long time ago, there used to be these huge walls that were attached to the roof, but now they're all recessed lighting.
Okay.
So that way they don't spread outside of the canopy.
Okay. Well.
And we've never had a gas station come through under these particular regulations that we're imposing on projects the last few years.
Okay. So looks like they're the experienced gas station developer, so couldn't be the first time they're facing us. Okay. Wait, is there all the speaker slips? Does anybody else want to speak? No, I usually give the applicant, if you don't have to. Do you want to speak to anybody else that spoke? You guys good? You're good? Okay. All right.
Questions?
Does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
The only question I had is, okay, are any of these dispensers for diesel fuel or for like big trucks or just diesel as just a diesel?
Not for the big trucks, but like pickups.
Right.
Okay. So not for the big truck, it will be hard to
get it out.
Right. So no semis. That's what.
Yeah, no semis, but whatever
Okay.
can fit under the canopy, they're good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I had a question.
Well, stand up, Ron.
Well, it's
How high is the building?
Well, I don't know. Do you know that?
If he can't put a pole sign, I was thinking, can he put a sign on the side, on the top of the building?
Well,
Not on the roof,
There's a
but,
sign on the canopy already.
31.
okay.
They can put it as high as they want on the building. That's fine.
So
He
that,
already has it on the canopy, though. But he could put it on the building.
whatever's higher, whatever.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
up to you. I just a thought.
No, he can put it high. We don't want it to look gaudy.
No.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I usually go left. I usually go right to left. So how about we make Brian go first? What do you think, Dan?
Works for me.
I actually have a question for the developer too, in regards to like electric cars. Have you guys had any conversations or any considerations for since they're becoming increasingly.
Yeah, we can do that because sometimes we work with Tesla. In one of the stations, we have a Tesla, thing that they charge. But it's very hard to get a Tesla. But if we have some space, maybe we'll, we can look into. It's just a one pump that you can buy, and wherever where you put the air and the water thing, so we can put over there, and it can be a possibility.
Absolutely.
It's just a traffic thing. You don't make money. It's just to pull. A lot of hotels are doing nowadays, but nothing. Gas station is just mostly work with Tesla, and they do it. But it can be considered as nothing major.
Yeah, I thought we
just one
talked
pump.
about putting electric charging stations
and I
on
would-
the avenue.
And I would suggest not Tesla, because we have 8 Tesla charging stations at the
Yeah.
Marriott, so
Yeah,
you
so-
probably wouldn't get anything, so maybe a charge point type.
Maybe a charge point. It'll be like a pump kind of thing, but we can put where the air and the water is,
Yeah.
so they can put charges like then any car can charge.
Okay.
It gives them a
Volt
chance to stop, and then they can stop in the restaurant. And
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Then other Volt, and now there are so
Why-
many of them.
I think we hope to put them on the avenue, though. I'd rather have on the avenue than only attached to the gas station. But
okay. Just an idea?
Not that it's a bad. No. I wasn't saying it was a bad idea. I didn't mean it like that.
Okay, excellent. The other question I had was around the bathroom situation. It looked like there was a woman's and a men's, but you have a service station and you're looking at a restaurant and some offices upstairs, and I didn't see any other bathrooms other than just.
No, the upstairs we didn't do any. The downstairs there's wherever the food court will be sharing the bathrooms.
Okay.
So we'll be we'll talk to her. We'll stretch a little bit more, so it'll be 2 or 3 in each, because we believe it's the same thing. When it's a neighborhood, it's one, we can get away with one, but it's in a freeway location, we have to have more than one, because it helps. It helps us too.
Imagine that gets
We're learning all these things we do slowly and slowly. We kind of in one project we even have a dog park. We advertise that, hey, you know what, because we did a search, and that's how the surveys, how people travel, and some parents, teacher, kids, truck drivers, and there are people with pets.
Playground in the back. Why not?
Yeah, so that's we are doing a big project in Madeira. It's like a 10-acre parcel, and we have a dog walk, so people can whenever they need it, they can use it's a particular spot for the dogs. So
Nice.
that's what we try to we learn slowly and slowly.
Great. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think overall you can, the comments are great. I think everybody's very, very positive about this. I don't see a lot of negatives. I think for an overall concept, it looks pretty good. I like the design. I have a little bit of a concern for the traffic. I think we all do, especially when a truck is coming to deliver the fuel coming off of Central, and what does that look like when there's a roundabout and there's cars backed up, people trying to go in their homes. So we'll have to see what that looks like.
It's one lane.
Yeah, exactly. So there's concerns there, but we can get there later. But outside of that and some of the answers they've already provided, I think that's pretty much my comments.
That and the residential area. I'm a little concerned because of the residential area, but I think overall the premise is very good. Hopefully you guys can come back with some good color schemes and drawings. Landscaping, I think, is very important, especially on the Avenue of the Flag. Some greenery, and we might be in a drought, but we can still have native plants that can enhance that part of the entrance to the Buellton. So I'd be for it.
Dan?
Well, I think we have a living, breathing project here that, somebody's trying to bring a good project to the top of the Avenue Flags, and if not them, when are we going to start? So I'd like to see it. Obviously, we're going to have to massage this in a lot of ways and work with you on signage, obviously, and traffic. But I think it's a living, breathing project that it's nice to see one come there, and it's nice to see a quality one on the Avenue of the Flags. So I'd be for it.
I guess I'm last. So I'll be honest. Initially coming in here, I wasn't say opposed, but leaning toward opposed. But I think after I reviewed it obviously over the last few days. I'm leaning much more towards approval of it, and I'll tell you, I think it's mainly because the applicant seems to be interested in making a quality product. I think if he came before us with a lack of a quality product, it'd be easier to say no, go away. But that being said, I think Dan said it pretty succinctly that it looks pretty nice, and I know it's there now. And I'll never forget my counterpart for 5 or 6 years when the Buellton apartments went up. He's like, you know, I know everyone says no to these apartments, but I walked the site and there was nothing but broken liquor bottles and human feces, and I'll take these apartments over that. So I know it's there now. I think it's, and I'm not saying that's what's there now, but but that being said, it seems like a nice project. So I do say that signage is going to be an issue. We are going to stick, we are going to be sticklers on this. So you're going to be the first. So the part of it's like you're the first person to come in, and so we're willing to probably forego some of the gas station. At least that's the consensus amongst the team. I think it's fair. But at the same time, because you're that first guy, then you're going to, or gal, I don't want to exclude gender, then you're going to have some we'll be a little more sticklerly, whatever, you get the idea. So just keep that in mind. But so far, I don't think there's any other issue. The only other thing I've had is make notes on the canopy. Let's make the canopy agrarian. The monument sign, obviously, that's going to be a sticky issue. I'm not going to beat up traffic. And then I had a nice guy. That's already in the code, though, so he's going to have to comply with that anyway. But the last one is I don't know about the guidance. I think that's kind of a thing for staff to figure out, And did they officially change? Did Irma take notes to officially change the draft documentation to reflect that zone to include service items?
That's what we are doing at this point.
Okay.
And I think if the commission is giving their blessing towards this type of concept for the avenue, then we would include that. And when we go to the council with the draft before we finish up the final document, we will say the community and the planning commission think this service travelers district is appropriate for a gas station, service station type of thing, and the specific plan that we modified accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just last comment I'll say, just stick to the quality that you have presented before us, and if we maintain that quality, it will be much easier decision moving forward. I've been here a long time, and I've seen presentation A and presentation B, and generally that doesn't go very well. And I'm not saying you're going to do that. You seem like a developer that got his stuff together, so. Okay. Any other comments?
No.
Okay. Good luck. We look forward to seeing the formal application. Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am. Okay, any written comms? I don't
No,
see
sir.
written comms. Anybody have any comments? No. Okay. And you guys are more than welcome to go. If you're going to stay here and talk, just be a little quiet. We're almost done. Okay, Mark.
All right, we have applications in for 2 more townhome buildings. So those,
Really?
So along with the 3 or 4 that we,
Where are those?
You mean
the same townhomes, the Gavin Moore's Capital
the
Pacific.
village.
Yeah, the village. They're putting
I thought we were talking about a whole new project.
No.
Okay.
Two more buildings are getting permits to move forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Building permits.
Yes, building
okay.
permits.
Okay.
And you can see Habit and Chipotle's moving forward a little quicker now, stuck on the other building now, so hopefully those will be moving forward quickly. Tilton's almost ready to go.
I saw
and
that.
be finished.
God, that went
Hampton's probably going to be roofing and getting the exterior up quickly on that. And some of your other projects have not come back in yet. So the bowling alley, Carrie's apartments, they haven't been resubmitted, and we're supposed to see the Commons tomorrow.
Really?
Good.
Yes.
Wow, they work fast.
Yeah. So.
They're motivated. Okay. Wow. Okay. If it looks anything like they came before us, that would be awesome. So when you see it, this is just for a preliminary?
No, this is the official application will be coming in. All the plans and everything we've asked for.
Epic.
Then you'll come in, then you'll have your preliminary review within the first 30 days, and then we'll start actively reviewing and processing.
Perfect. Sweet. What's up with the Koi people?
They were doing some remediation.
Still?
Well, it took a while for whatever the oil company was to get their act together. So he's still coming. It's just they have to get the site clean, and that's what they're doing. They've painted the buildings, and they're starting to gear up. But they'll
It's looking better on the outside, at least the stucco part.
And they're going to put a nice monument sign up front at the corner. Kind of
like a
dress it
pole
up.
sign?
No, nice little monument sign.
No jokes, Dan. No jokes. Okay.
All right.
Anything else? Anybody?
Nope, we're good. Thank you.
6